Hi and good morning, Dave from DVS, the CTO. So I'm just going to run through with one of our switches, PoE switches today with you. Really good switch we've brought in. There's not enough awareness about it, so we thought we'd do a little bit of a couple of minutes about an awareness. It's a Neon 8 PoE Pro Plus, so 8 ports of PoE. Some really good features. It's a level 2 managed switch and it's industrial, and we'll run through those features in a minute. As you'll see, the switch is there. It's industrial. It comes with it's like side arms, so you can mount it to a wall, or you can, it does come with side arms to mount in a rack. Each port is a gig and supplies up to PoE plus, but what you'll also find is port 1 is a 60 watt PoE, so it allows you to power, say, a Darkfighter PTZ without the need for an injector or 24 volt AC power supply. Comes with 4 fiber SFP interfaces, and it supports the redundant fiber ring. So as you'll see, there's a brief description on our spec sheet of all the functions. We can send that as on our website and on your price lists. So it gives you a breakdown of all the functionality in there. Say it is layer 2, and you can go through there and check all of the details in there. What I've also done, rather than go through that, is put on the PDF a little quick overview of the functionality. So as I said, it's got 4 gigabit SFP optical ports. We do the SFPs to match the fiber. Again, because fiber is so different, you need to speak to us depending if it's multi-mode, single mode, 1 core, 2 core, and the distance required, but we can match that to your needs. It's got 8 ports of PoE plus, but that T1 port there is the 60 watt PoE, high PoE, so you can power the PTZ from that. You can see 60 watt PoE demand there. Really good functionality, saves the additional PoE injector 24 volt AC power supply. It is only port 1 that does this. We can also have the alarm notification, so if the power fails to the equipment, so if you've got a power supply or say an alarm panel and the power goes, we can have the notification for this. And say because it's industrial, it's down to -40 and up to 75 degrees with a level 4 protection. So it's very versatile, extremely good switch for the cost especially, and say it is layer 2. So what you'll see is I've just web browsed quickly into the switch. Go into this one here. So we web browse into the switch. This is one that we've got fitted in the building, and it's got all the usual functionality you'd expect to find from this kind of switch. So you can put your device name in there, say DVS, contact information, contact address, save that, and then refresh it. And then we've got all sorts of other things. So you've got like your port settings, so you can click on port setting. It tells you everything that's going on. So any device that's connected to this switch, it tells you if it's 100 meg, 10 meg, a gig, what kind of, if it's a copper or SFP. But you can select and change these accordingly from there if you need to match it specifically to a device. You've got the rate limit and storm control. You've got the PoE. So you can adjust these settings. So basically we got PoE limit is 60 watt on here. I could set port 1 and then select and actually turn the power down if I didn't need to supply with 60 watt. Most devices are intelligent, so it'll supply up to 60 watt. If it doesn't need 60 watt, it won't draw it. And we can actually turn the PoE off if required, if we don't want the PoE to be sent to the device. We've got the Vlan support in there, so obviously Vlan is a little bit complex. Gets into a little bit of a specialist arena, but we do support VLANs and VLAN forward. We've got the QoS, quality of service. We can turn that on and off, and we can also set this up according to our needs. The LACP, trunk groups. We've got port security, so we can enable a port, lock it down to a MAC address, a VLAN ID. So that's very configurable. You've got your 8021X certification for port security. The radius database, SNMP. A lot of network engineers use SNMP for router level interrogation and reporting, so we support this as well. So we can enable that and select version 1 or 2. We fill this in then accordingly. Got the port mirror function, email alarms, IGMP snooping. So IGMP snooping is traditionally a layer 3 functionality. You'll find if you use it in multicast, a lot of systems that use multicast will require IGMP snooping to be enabled. Network statistics, we've got the flow statistics, so it tells you all of your information, and refresh it. And it's also got the MAC table, so it tells us devices that are connected or have ever been connected at any point to this switch. And then we've got the system management, so here we can change the default IP address to access it. Got the user management, log information, so we can interrogate, file management and alarm management. Suppose I put network start PoE, and then we can simply exit. So you can see it is a layer 2. It's an extremely powerful switch. For the cost, you get a lot for your value, a lot of switch for the money, especially with the 60-watt PoE on port 1, which enables that ability to drop the cost of the PoE injector or 24-volt power supply. And with the redundant ring support, having the ability to actually support a ring, so these switches can be on a network linked together by a ring of fiber, and then if that ring is cut or disabled at any point on the network, obviously because it's redundant, they will pick up the other way, so you don't lose connection between the switches unless the ring is cut in 2 places. Then obviously only the switches within that will talk. But there's a special function that enables this redundancy. So it's built into the switch. Most switches, you need to, if you would like to use a redundant ring, you'd have to use the spanning tree protocol. This is all built into the switch specifically for this reason. So I can say it's a very powerful switch. If you need any more information, please contact us at DVS, ask your sales, ask technical, or ultimately ask me, and we will help you. I hope you enjoyed it, and we look forward to doing more with you. Have a good day. Thank you.